Disclaimer, I don't recommend studying entire manga volumes line by line to learn Japanese, but this lesson will use the 7 deadly sins to show you how easy learning Japanese can be when you incorporate more fun things like anime and manga to help you learn, and also smarter practice exercises so that you don't bore yourself to death. Here's today's lesson.
ほいよ大ジョッキ5つ
おお、まだ入れるかい？
お客さん人数は
3人で。
豚の帽子亭にようこそ
Let's start with Meliodas, who says, Hoya! It's an interjection used to get someone's attention very casually. This might be something you could say to very close friends, but in most cases when you're giving something to someone in Japanese, hai dozo is the standard and polite thing to say. Next, he says daijoki, which means big beer mug. This kanji here means big, and it's really simple to read and write. It shouldn't take much imagination to see a person here. Imagine it's some big guy blocking your way by stretching out his arms and legs. Joki alone here is beer mug, and we know that there are 5 of them because of this next word, itsusu, meaning 5 of something. In Japanese, when you want to say that there are 2 of this or 3 of that, the number comes after the object. So in this case, it's daijoki itsusu. This kanji here is another really easy one to learn. It's the kanji for 5. Can you see the 5 lines that make up this kanji? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy, right? But be careful, as this character is actually written in 4 strokes, as you can see right here. Now, counting things will be the main focus point of this lesson, but more on that after we break down all of the lines. We have some guy here saying oho, but we can leave that out as that's not too important. This oji-san here, however, says mada, meaning still or not yet. And haireru comes from the word hairu, meaning to enter, go into, or come into. The haireru form means can enter, can go into, or can come into. The kanji here is even easier than the last. Do you see the tent here? That is where we enter in this kanji for enter. Kai is a very informal way to ask a question, but slightly softer than ka, which is also very informal. Hairemasu ka would be the polite thing to say, especially to someone you don't know, like a bartender. So let's take a second to make sure we understand these first 2 lines. The first one simply means, here's 5 large glasses of beer. But the second one is a little harder. Literally translating it gives us still can enter, which does help a little bit, but in this case we would naturally say something like, is there still room for more?
ほいよ大ジョッキ5つ
まだ入れるかい？
Melodius calls the oji-san okyaku-san, which is customer. In polite speech, okyaku-sama is much more commonly used here. Ninzu means number of people. Wa is often used in Japanese to imply a question, and through context, we can figure out that he's asking the customer for how many people are with him, since he said ninzu, and we're at a bar/restaurant. The oji-san answers with sannin, meaning 3 people. Here we have 2 of possibly the easiest kanji that you could ever learn, so let's knock them out real quick. The kanji for 1, the kanji for 2, and the kanji for 3. Yup, it's pretty much that simple. Person is person. How could you make it any more easy? Oh, well, De usually means by, in, or at, but it's commonly used when talking about a number of people. Don't think about it too much. If it helps, just use des when in this situation to make it polite. This one should be easy to translate. It's, sir, how many people, and 3 people.
ほいよ大ジョッキ5つ
まだ入れるかい？
お客さん人数は
3人で。
We already have quite a lot for this lesson, but let's quickly blaze through this last panel for completion. Buta is pig or boar. No is used to combine 2 or more nouns together. Boshi is hat. Te is a suffix put at the end of some restaurant names. Ni is to, and yokoso means welcome. And translated, that is welcome to Boar Hat. So the focus of this lesson will be on counting things in general and counting people. There are many ways to count all kinds of things in Japanese, but let's not worry about all that jazz right now. Let's keep it simple and easy. How about we start by reviewing the numbers 1 to 10 really quick? If you haven't learned them yet, here's a good place to start. Say them aloud if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, those are good when you're pointing to things and counting up. But if you want to say 5 big beer mugs, daijoki go does not make sense. Restaurant orders use this generic tsu counter. You can also use this counter when counting generic items for which you don't know any other counter for. Here are the words that you will need to use. Repeating aloud will help you remember. 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ、6つ、7つ、8つ、9つ、と。Perhaps a couple of those are already familiar to you. How about nanatsu? It's in the name of the show, Nanatsu no Taizai, including one of the kanji here that we learned today. Let's take a look at how to count people in Japanese. It's not san hito, it's sannin. Here they are from 1 to 10. Hitori, futari, sannin, yonin, gonin, rokunin, shichinin, hachinin, 9 nin, 10 nin. You'll notice the numbers 1 and 2 have some exceptions that are similar in counting both things and people. Counting things in general has a lot more exceptions than counting people, and if any of them confuse you, make sure to rewind and count again once more before moving on. Now, we can't stop the video here, but if we did, you're likely to forget all that juicy Japanese that we just learned, so let's do a little bit of practice. They start easy and get harder as we go along. So, here we go. Here's listening exercise number 1. What does this mean?
2つ2つ
The correct answer is 2 of something. Now, wasn't that so much fun? I think we should do another. What does this one mean?
4人4人
The answer is 4 people. Let's step it up with a close exercise. What kanji is missing from our original dialogue? Try to write it down in a notebook, on your hand, or you can just say it aloud. Pause the video if you need to. And the missing kanji is san. Let's quickly move on to our third listening exercise. What does this one mean?
一人でできる一人でできる一人でできる
The answer is can do alone or one person can do it. Here's our last listening test. What does this one mean?
おにぎり3つください。おにぎり3つください。おにぎり3つください。
The correct answer is 3 rice balls, please. Here's our second close exercise. What's missing from the original dialogue now? Try to remember the kanji and hiragana and write it down if you can, or just say it aloud. Pause the video if needed. And the missing piece is itsusu. Now, it's time for our final exercise, shadowing. I invite you to say the lines aloud at the same time as the native speaker. Of course, the lines are very casual and even a bit cartoony, but we've learned the polite counterparts as well. Why not have a little bit of fun? If you participate, it'll help you to remember what we've learned here even more when we say the new words aloud. We will do a total of 3 times. First time slow, second time normal, third time fast. And here we go.
はいよ大ジョッキ5つ
まだ入れるかい？
お客さん人数は
3人で。
はいよ大ジョッキ5つ
まだ入れるかい？
お客さん人数は
3人で。
ほいよ大ジョッキ5つ
まだ入れるかい？
お客さん人数は？
3人で。
If you think you need more practice, why not try a one-on-one session with a Japanese tutor? You can find one for as cheap as $8 a session at italki.com. In the description, you'll find a link to this list of Japanese tutors where you can get started. Just remember to use those polite Japanese forms and you'll do just fine. And with that, see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.